Smallbone to pick number 2, learn from your mistakes. I am a very, very, very frustrated New York Jets fan. Now, this is not going to necessarily just be critical of a team, of anything like that. And don't worry, even if you're not an American football fan, but you like another sport, or you like business, or you run your own business, whatever, there's a lesson to be learned here. And that lesson, quite simply, is learn from your mistakes. Now, I'll give you a bit of a lowdown on this, okay? Just watch the Jets lose again to the Miami Dolphins. Now, I hate losing at the best of times. It is what it is. The challenge that the organisation has, 2 things. Number 1, there are 16 games in a regular NFL season, okay? And at the moment, the New York Jets are 0-6. Lost every game because they're crap. They're crap because they haven't got the right people in the right places. The team's got a lack of talent. The organisation is horrible from top to bottom, and they never ever learn from their mistakes. Now, whether you are a sports fan or not, if you are a sports fan, it is frustrating when you lose, but it is also frustrating when you see the same mistakes being made and people are not learning from their mistakes. And that's the most infuriating thing about this. 0-6. Most of the games, if not all the games, have been an absolute washout. I mean, they've not even been competitive. It's got to the stage where, I like to be optimistic. I like to, positive mentality, yada, 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 yada. This is one of the only things that I'm negative about, is this. Because the minute the Jets go behind in a football game, that's game over. There's almost like there's no hope. There's no hope because there's no talent. There's bad coaching. Some of the players are great. Yeah, some players are, a little bit dodgy. But this has been going on for years. This isn't just one bad season. This has been going on for years and years and years and years and years. And it's because the whole organisation is an absolute shit show. Sorry, if you listen to that and you're a Jets fan, you probably agree with me. If you don't, fine, whatever. But the whole organisation is an absolute shit show. It needs to be changed. Now, I'm going to give you the comparison here. Yeah. You probably know from Throwback Thursdays and recent podcasts with Aaron as well. Yeah, both Liverpool fans. Okay, yeah, sometimes I'm a Reading fan when it sees fit, but both Liverpool fans. Now, Liverpool were very successful in the 70s and 80s. Best team in England, best team in Europe by a country mile. In the 90s, in the noughties, and to be fair, in 2010s, relatively poor. Won the odd trophy here and there, superb. But the late noughties, they were owned by 2 guys, Hicks and Gillette, and they were bad because the whole organisation, Liverpool Football Club, was terrible. It was really badly run from the top, and that filtered down onto the pitch. We had, I think, one bizarrely really good league season that season, and that was down to having a great manager, but the rest of the organisation was terrible. Poor management from the top, poor everything, fans unhappy, team not doing as well as they should be, not good. But what happened over time, a new owner came in, so Hicks and Gillette went, a new owner came in who brought in a new philosophy, a new way of doing things. And when that happens, okay, you're going to get different results. Now, you're not going to get an instant change. You're not going to get success overnight when this happens. Big organisational changes take a very, very long time. That's what happened at Liverpool. The other thing, a soccer or regular football related reference, look at Germany. Look at Germany in general, one of the most successful international teams in the world. But in the mid-90s, late 90s, they were terrible. They were not very good, and they knew as a country they needed to have a massive reset on football. So they reset the whole structure. They reset the whole system. Now, nothing, they then appeared in the World Cup final in 2002. And since then, they've progressively a very, very consistent country. They are anyway, but the massive reset they had, they've become incredibly consistent. They ended up winning the World Cup in 2014. So changes can take time, but you have to learn from your mistakes. And this is something the New York Jets don't do. They're not learning from their mistakes. The whole organisation sucks. I don't watch every game at the moment. I've just sort of got to the stage where it's pointless because we're not even competitive as a team. And sometimes we're getting some of the best draft picks. We're getting some of the best drafts players, and we seem to make them worse. It's just absolutely horrible. So my lesson for that is quite simply learn from your mistakes. Whether you're a sports franchise, whether you run your own business, whether, even if you don't care about sports, you must have at some point been frustrated that other people, other businesses are not learning from their mistakes. There's no harm in making mistakes. I'm not saying that you have to be perfect. I'm not saying that, everything's going to work all the time, because that's a bit of a daft ideology. What I am saying is, if you make a mistake, learn from it. And also look at the mistakes that others have made and learn from the mistakes that other people have made as well. New York Jets, if you're listening, please sort yourselves out. We know as a fan base it can take time. Please change ownership, change the head coach, change the coaching staff, get a strategy in place, get a system in place, okay, and give us something to cheer about, because every time, every week at the moment, we're turning up and we are terrible. We're not really competitive. We're badly coached. It's pathetic. It's poor. I can't speak for every New York Jet fan, but if we were competitive each week, then that'd be a better start, and it's going to take time. That's small bone to pick out. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from the mistakes that other people have made. New York Jets, sort yourself out. Man, I hate losing. Small bone to pick out.